Hello and welcome to Angular Nation Beginner Channel. Today we have another speaker giving us a talk on how to optimize images in Angular. So big shout out to our sponsors AG for facilitating these events, and also we have other events in the expert channel, so if you want to check out talks from Angular GDEs and other experts, head over there. But I'll hand over to Arunkumar.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. So, are you able to see my screen?
Not yet. Oh, here it comes.
It's coming out. Yep.
Hey.
Yeah. Actually, I will start with a little bit of introduction about me, actually. So, before going to further. So, I have around 10 years of experience in developing web applications. I worked with different technologies like C#, .NET Core, ASP.NET MVC, JavaScript, jQuery, and also Angular. So, I worked with companies like Tesco, Vmware, and Camp Systems Private Limited. Right now, I'm took some break. So, in 2016, I started this blog called Angular Wiki, where I'm writing Angular articles. So it's been visited by more than 3 lakh people around the world. So it's a very good reach actually. So now coming to our topic today. So image loading performance in Angular applications. So the agenda of this meeting is, first we will see what are the best practices to load images in the web applications. So how to load responsive images, what is a CDN, and there are some core web vitals like what is LCP, and then using NgOptimizedImage, how we can improve or how we can enforce that best practices in Angular applications. So let's go to the topics now. So what are the best practices while loading images in web applications? First thing is lazy loading of images and prioritization of critical images, and using a CDN, that means content delivery network, and enforcing some rules and regulations. So we'll come to that part actually, what are the rules and regulations we have to enforce. Now coming to the lazy loading of images. What exactly lazy loading? So if you see any web page, so there are mostly there, like if you go to Amazon or eBay, there will be product images actually. They will display in carousel actually. Only one image is one image is displayed on load. So in that case, the other images like second image or third image, those are all non-critical images. Those should not be, not necessary that we should be loading them in on load actually. So for those kind of images, we can lazy load them. So after clicking on carousel button, or while we scroll onto the web page, then we have to load those load images. What is the use is, this will help us to free up some browser resources. So browser has to do a lot of things like calculating JavaScript, and also calculating CSS rules and everything. So if the browser is mainly concentrating on loading images, that will take too much time to load a web page actually. So that means we should not load non-critical images on browser load. That is the first rule actually. That is a first rule, in the sense that is a best practice we have to do. Okay. So again, what are the examples of these non-critical images? Below the fold images. That means if you open any web page, for example, so this is the Angular Nation website. This is the above the fold content actually. So there are no images, but imagine there are some images, probably the featured image actually. That is the above the fold images that we should load eagerly. That means we should load it. So if you scroll it, there might be some images. Those are not critical. Whenever we scroll, then only we have to load them, not on the initial load. That is my point actually. So
Sorry,
coming back
Tom.
to
Not critical.
yeah, non-critical. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Okay. So actually, Google did a survey actually. So in that, as of 2021, only 7.8% of web pages are using this lazy loading actually. So we have to improve this kind of things actually. So now this is the native image loading. Simply we have to give the source to src attribute of the image will load. So then how to load lazy loading. So there is an attribute called loading. We have to mark it with lazy, then the image will automatically load it. Okay, let's go through a quick stack beziling. This web page contains around 100 images actually. See, if you see here, only 2 images are visible right now, but still the browser is loading all images. This is what we are doing now. I mean, these are most of the web applications are loading the images right now. So with the lazy loading, you're able to see my screen, right? Hello?
Yeah, we can. Yeah.
We see kittens.
Yeah.
Now, this is with the lazy loading actually. If you see, only 5 images are loaded. Now I'm scrolling. See, 50 images loading, 60 images loading. That means on demand actually. Whenever we scroll the web page, the image will load. So if you see the source of the just I am attributing with the loading lazy. That's it, not more than that actually.
Nice.
Yeah. So if you nothing much, we have to attribute with loading lazy, and this is actually this loading attribute is not available all browser, but Chrome and Mozilla will support. So that's why I did a small check whether the loading attribute available or not. It is true, but nowadays most of the application browsers are supporting this loading attribute. Okay, but even though the browser is not supporting, there are some polyfills are available. We can make use of them. Okay. Now priorities of critical images actually. So not all non-critical images. If you see any blog or web page, there will be featured images, right? So that will display on top of the website. That means above the fold content. And also if you open Amazon or eBay, then the product image that should be loaded immediately, right? So if you mark with all images as lazy loaded, it will take some time, but there are some few images we have to load eagerly. That means fast actually. So in that case, there is another attribute called actually. So the examples of featured image critical LCP, I mean largest contentable paint content images. So we have to make the images with fetch priority high. So in that case, the image will load on demand immediately. Whenever we load the browser, the image will load immediately. And also it will improve the largest LCP core web vital in the Google web speed, I mean light speed, that I will explain later actually, but it will improve them. So, and again according to some Google did a survey actually, only 12.7% of mobile pages with pre-connects and 22 using this preload hints actually. So let's see how this fetch priority will work. I have another stack bridge demo. So now I'm first images I am pointing with fetch priority high, and also other images, 50 images. If you remember in the previous demo, this image is not loaded on demand actually. So let's see how this will work now. The first images that is marked with fetch priority high and also 50 images. It is loaded before other images. Why? Because we have marked it with fetch priority high. So these are first images we marked with fetch priority high and also 50 images. So before first and second, fourth images, the fifth images has been loaded actually. If you can see it here, 405 images. So this is how, and also this will helps in improving LCP paint image actually. So what exactly this LCP will see, I will give you some brief introduction actually. So So LCB is nothing but above the fold images should be loaded immediately, and the high level actually there is some with very good articles available on web.dev core web vital. But again, according to some survey, the site should have at least large contentful paint of 2.5 seconds or less. So that is a kind of good practice. And recently eBay website included this fetch priority high in their images, and they saw around 150 milliseconds of improvement. Let's go actually what eBay site have done. I'm just opening one product actually. So there is a carousel. So if you see here, the first images, that means this is the first product image, that is nothing but LCP content. This is, they have added loading eager. That means in that case, loading lazy means it will load it. Loading eager means it will load fast. And also fetch priority high. They have marked with fetch priority high. And they saw around 1.150 milliseconds improvement in the Chrome. Actually, this is from one of the VP tweeted this recently, on November 7th. The Twitter actually, they said they have clearly improved their website performance around 150 milliseconds, and such 150 millisecond, there is a very good improvement them, because that will directly proportional to their revenue, right? So if the web page loads fast, the revenue will increase. So this is a real world case actually, how the fetch priority high will work. So, and one more thing, responsive images actually. So you might have heard actually, we have source set attribute which we can pass different kind of image, different sizes images to the image tag, so that depending upon the device size, that means if for a mobile we can specify one image, for desktop we can specify another images. So this kind of this is for different types of devices. We need to provide different size of images, so that the image will load claritily in the all devices. So these are syntax. These are native HTML. We have to pass source set images with a given width. So the one disadvantage, I mean, not I will say disadvantage, but we have to maintain different sizes of images in our applications. So, but it's a kind of overhead for us actually. Instead of that, we can make use of CDN, content delivery networks. So nowadays, all of the CDNs, they are providing some built-in functionalities, like they will give some. We have to upload our image in that CDN, and based upon some parameter, we can load different sizes of images. If you pass some width is equal to some 200 pixel to that URL, they will load that corresponding 200 pixel images to URL. And also if you want some circle images, they will load the circle images. Just give an example actually. So if the size is small, they will load with the source URL. We have to pass different kinds of parameters. And if you want some WebP picture, then we can pass WebP, or if we want PNG picture, we can pass PNG. So in this case, the advantage is we are not maintaining different sizes images in our applications. We are giving that responsibility to the CDN. So all we have to do is we have to upload one high resolution images to the CDN, and based upon parameters, we have to load different sizes of images. That is a concept actually. So this is the best practices while loading images. One of the best practice actually. So now we have seen actually what are the image loading best practice in native Angular native web application. Now we will see how we can enforce those best practices in Angular applications. So in recent Angular version 14.20, the Angular team introduced a directive called NgOptimizedImage. Using that, we can enforce image loading best practices in our Angular applications. This is pretty much straightforward actually. There is no complexity involved in this. Very simple to use. I'll go through it actually. So first we have to import ngOptimize images in our Angular app module, global app module. But if you don't want to add it in ng module, there is a new concept called standalone components. We can import it directly in the components, and because it is marked as standalone, that means we can load it in standalone application also, standalone component, sorry. The second thing is, instead of using source, now we have to use ng source. This is an attribute, and there are some good practice we have to follow. We have to give width and height of the images, otherwise the Angular CLI will throw an error or warning. So this is the while loading images, we have to specify the width. I mean, the source images, we have to specify the width and height. This is now mandatory. So configuring CDN actually. So as I explained the uses of CDN, right? There are different kinds of CDN providers, the Cloudflare, Cloudinary, ImageKit, ImageCX. So for all kinds of these CDNs, Angular team is providing some providers like provider Cloudflare load URL. If you want to use Cloudflare CDN URL, we have to use this provider. If you want to ImageKit, we have to use this provide ImageKit loader URL. I'll go through the examples so that you will understand better. So just understand that this we have to configure some provider to use the CDN in our Angular applications. Okay, for different, if you are custom CDN, we have to write our own custom provider actually. But Angular by default providing 4 different kinds of CDN providers. Now pre-image loader, that I will explain while giving demo what exactly it is. So provide image kit loader, in the sense we have to give the CDN URL, I mean base path to this URL actually. And we have to pre-connect the CDN URL in our head of the Angular application. If you are not following anything, just we will, while giving demo, you will understand more actually, and no worry. So this is the demo link.
I just want to say, I love this demo. I especially love the kittens.
Okay, thank you. So the first thing is we have to import NgOptimizedImage directive in our app.module CS file. So this, then we have to add it in imports array. And also I explained, right, we have to load the image CDN URL. So here I'm using ImageKit CDN as of my CDN provider. So I'm importing this provide ImageKit loader from Angular common, and in the providers array we have to specify the base path of the CDN actually. So if you want to use Cloudflare URL, so Cloudflare, we have to use provide Cloudflare loader from Angular common. Sorry. Yeah. So for ImageKit, we have to use provide kit. And one more thing is we have to pre-connect this domain in our head.cs file. In that case, the pre-connect, which will helps in pre-connect, in the sense the browser will know that okay, there is some resources pointing to this this URL. We have to pre-connect to this URL, so that whenever there is a resource comes from this URL, we have to load them eagerly, I mean fast. In this is a high level actually. There is a more concept to that pre-connect. I'm high level explaining. So again, right, so the first step is we have to import NgOptimizedImage, and also we have to provide the ImageKit URL, right? So in this this is my image CDN. I imported around some 7 to 10 images in the app.component.cs file. I'm just pushing. I give it some 1, 2, 3 images like that actually. In the component.html, the first images I am loading with priority. This priority is very important. This is specific to NgOptimizedImage. This will mark our images as fetch priority high. If you see it here, the first image is marked with fetch priority high and loading eager. So as you see in the eBay website also, they have mentioned loading eager and fetch priority high. That means this is our critical image. This is our above fold images. We have to load it eagerly. And for remaining images, and I'm just simply adding anything. So that means our NgOptimized images, if you are not providing priority tag, it will load all images lazily. Just we have to provide ng source URL and height and width. And again, I explained, right, the example, the uses of CDN. Now this is, instead of source set, we have to use ng src set, and we have to give different sizes of image width. Let's see what is the developed, what exactly the HTML. If you see it here, for that source set, image kit has been added different kinds of images. See, if you see it here, the width is 600 450 pixel. Sorry. When this will load on demand, so let me tell you, open. So this is around 800 width. So if it is a native web application, so we have to give source set complete URL. If you are maintaining our different kinds of images, but then we have to specify manually them. But with the using that image kit CDN provider, just we have to specify what are all the widths we needed. Actually, the NgOptimized image will automatically load corresponding width images, and depending upon the what do you say, device width, the image will be loaded automatically. So let's see actually, so what happens if you remove width and height actually. So immediately the image is not loading. That means the NgOptimized directive has detected the tag required missing width and height. Now that is, while using ng source, that means NgOptimized image directive, we have to provide height and width. That is mandatory now. That is a kind of best practices they are enforcing through NgOptimized image. So any questions or any, I will stop here. I mean, if you have any questions further.
Well, I was going to ask about the source sets and how you manage those images, but I think you just said that the CDNs will take care of, like, if you give them a source image and tell them what sizes you want to support.
Yes,
that's great. Yeah, I wasn't aware that was possible. So.
See, if you see it here, that is possible because I given the base path, and also my image name is some 400,000 images. Here I am building dynamically actually because I have given some static images name. So 1-4000 3000 AG. So that is possible. The NgOptimized image directive and provider image code will take care of everything. So let's go back to the CDN again. The pre-connect we have seen. So making images priority. That means if you mark it as priority, that NgOptimized image directive will add fetch priority high and loading eager, as you see in eBay website, right? So here we are not doing anything, and for the first image, we are just adding priority tag. If you want to, if you want to eagerly load, if you want to load critical images, we have to mark it with priority tag. So this is a demo link. Actually, now I have deployed these two websites in Vercel, one with NgOptimized image and one with a native image. So we will see with the Lighthouse. First we will see native thing. The performance is 43%. The LCP is 8.4 seconds, whereas the best practices should be under 2.5 seconds. with this this is also Angular application, but I'm using native image source tag. Now we will see with the performance is 80%. The LCP now 3.7 seconds from 8.4 to 3.7 seconds. This is the improved performance. So for eBay site, it is around 150 milliseconds, right? So it depends because it is simple application, but we can clearly see the difference. There are more than 70% of improvement. I mean 60% of improvement while using this LCP, largest contentable paint. So this is definitely useful actually. This NgOptimizedImage directive.
Yeah, that's a great improvement, all right.
Yeah, these are reference actually I have taken. This is from the Chrome blog. They have clearly explained actually what is the background and all and everything related to this is a kind of draft thing. So I wrote an article in my blog using that with the given examples. Everything is available in this link also with the demo link and GitHub URLs. So that's it actually. Thanks for providing this opportunity and thanks for Tom for scheduling this talk. And if you have any questions, then we can proceed.
Yeah, thanks very much. That was great. Yeah, I learned a lot. I don't know a huge amount about the optimizing image performance in Angular, so that was brilliant.
Yeah.
This is the first time I've seen you do a talk. I hope it's not the last. This was a very good talk.
Yeah.
You can turn off your screen share if you want, so we can see you. Have you had a lot of experience doing talks before?
No, this is my first talk actually.
No way.
No, seriously, this is my first talk actually.
I would not have thought that. You did a really good job. I hope you will do more talks for us.
Thank you.
Great. Well, anyone got any more questions?
Nope, not today. Yeah. When are we going to see another talk? That's my question.
We will plan actually, definitely. Yeah.
I like this. I thought this was because it's really nice to see talks that are like not too complicated and you just focus on a specific issue. And I also really love the Stack Blitz examples. And I love the kittens. So you had me with the kittens. As soon as the kittens, I was like, oh, look at all the kittens. And then you said I have another Stack Blitz, and I was like, are there going to be more kittens? Yes, more kittens. So I just am a sucker for kittens. So that was it was a nice touch, I thought.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I thought it was very well explained too.
Yeah, I'll share you the PPT link also and Canva. You can share it with others. No issue.
Absolutely, absolutely. I love the Stack Blitz, and I also think it's an important thing to be teaching, because what did you say? 7.8% of websites are lazy loading their images, and it's not really that difficult to do. So I think this was a great topic. I think it was very well presented. Let's not get mushy. But I definitely, if I see your name again in the CFP, will definitely push it through and would love to see more talks from you.
Sure. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And thank you, Tom.
No, not at all. Thanks, Ricker. That was great.
All right. And thank